Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Well, hello, everyone. Was a few minutes late there. I could not get my camera to work. So welcome, everyone. I'm very grateful for you. We are live right now on Rumble, X, BitChute, and YouTube. So grateful for wherever you are watching from. If you are listening or watching the replay, that is awesome as well. You will still feel the same energy, get the same messages, but it's always really fun to have people here, watching us live. Everyone's here to share their love, their light, their energy, and it's just a wonderful place to be. Hello, Richard. Hello, Richard. And I see Jill and Roy, Denise, Patty, and Laura are watching over on Rumble. Let me jot your names down. Jill and Roy, Denise, Patty, and Laura. So I want to welcome you all. Very grateful you are here sharing this time together. Please hit the like or the thumbs up button. Please share the show information, for all of our shows. We post the shows every day. And it doesn't take much to just hit that share button and share it on your social media. You never know who might be blessed or interested and who this information might really resonate with. Yeah, I remember Denise. That's Precious Cloud, right? Yeah, Denise is here on my show for the first time. Welcome. So I invite you guys to check out my website, ruthsoltman.com. It's RUTH, S as in Sam, OL, T as in Tom, M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy.com. And you can go to my website and find out all about my oracle cards, my books, and my services. I do have some of my craft items on there as well. They're currently under, I think, the holiday page. I need to go and update that soon. And if you haven't already, please come over to Telegram and join our Goldylocks Productions group over there. We got a wonderful group. Many of you that are regulars on the show are in the group. And as you know, we share a lot of information daily, a lot of interesting things that you might not see elsewhere on social media. And it is by invitation only, and the link is in the show description. There's also a QR code up there that you can click on that will take you there. Goldylocks Productions has an online store where you can get some really great merchandise. Check that out. I know Tiffany is, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say randomly, but from time to time, she puts up some new designs and stuff. So, it's always fresh and fun. So check that out. And don't forget about the Goldylocks Oracle cards as well. Energize. They have messages from the show hosts on them. And if you get yourself a deck, you can, have a message every day. So if you feel moved to do so, you can make a tip or a donation via my Venmo or Rumble Rant on Rumble. Your donations are graciously and gratefully accepted. I want to wish a very happy birthday to my grandson, Brandon. He is officially a member of the Double Digit Club. So happy birthday, Brandon. And a happy birthday to everyone celebrating this week. I hope you enjoy your special day. And let's send out some love, light, and healing and prayers to all those in need. Let's send some to ourselves as well. And let's also remember Robin McGuire and her son, Carol Ann Carey's daughter, Carrie, and Carol Ann's sister, Ginny, Maureen, Brandon, Jamie, Heidi, William, Tommy, Josh, Harley, Patty, Sarah and her family, Jamie, Patricia, Melissa Parks and her family, Devin, Jill, Roy, Laura and her husband, Tiffany, George and their family, Carol, Susan, Bob, Joanne, and to all those who are in need or just need a little bit extra. Now, if you are someone who has asked to have your name put on the list, or someone has, said, this family member of mine, would you please, then, they're going to stay on the list until someone says you can take them off the list. So just letting you know, if you or a family member are on that prayer list and you feel you no longer need to be, then just contact me outside of the show and let me know. And, I will take them off the list. Sometimes people add, a loved one or themselves when they're going through some kind of a crisis. Sometimes it's something more long-term. So, I don't judge, just, I do it with your permission, putting you on the list or off. So now remember to catch our shows Sunday through Friday every week at 8 p.m. Eastern. There's a show Sunday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. But we also have some stuff going on during the day, which is really exciting. Now, Laura Ramiro's show, Angels and Healing Light, which she usually does 2 Tuesdays a month, and her show's at 4 p.m. Eastern. And she had her show yesterday, and it was awesome. So you guys got to check that out if you haven't. And she also said that for the month of March, we are going to be blessed with her every Tuesday. Not just 2, but every Tuesday in March. So I'm really excited about that. I love your show, Laura. I love all of the shows. Now, Marcia's, on Wednesdays, we have an audio podcast at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And it's called The Mile. And it's with Marcia Culver. And she interviews a different person each week. Today was Melissa Smith, was her special guest today. And it was an awesome show. The story she told about how her and her husband met was amazing, because it just goes to show you how many things come into play to create one event, and how if any one of those things had changed, they would not have met when they did. But it just, stuff like that always kind of blows me away when you look at all of the things that had to come together for this one thing to happen. I think that is so cool. And tomorrow we have Alif's show, Musical Life. I think Tiffany is her show tomorrow. I know she's every other week, but I can't remember if she was. I think she is tomorrow. Oh, yes, she is. I remember seeing her post earlier. And that's at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we have Soul Coaching with Joanne Leo at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Over the weekend, Alif did a masterclass on the fire horse energy. It was a wonderful class. And if you didn't get to attend, I believe there are still purchase options available, Tiffany, correct? I know that's how it's been with the other master classes. So correct me if I'm wrong. Hi, Will. Nice to see you. So check that out. Find out all about the wonderful fire horse energy. Yes, she will upload Alif's masterclass to Patreon. Okay. If you haven't already, please, please, please come over and be a Goldylocks VIP. For less than the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can be a VIP. There's a special show once or twice a month. And there's other little perks here and there too. Thank you to those of you who joined this past Saturday for the special spiritual message circle. We had a really great show. And remember, it was the only one for February. Okay, so I have huge news. Very huge, very exciting, and such validation that the fire horse energy is active and in motion. Okay, so if you watched Laura's show yesterday, you heard her talk about how this book that she has been working on for, she said, a few years. I don't know exactly how many, but I remember when she first started talking about it. Oh, I gotta write that down. And her book is going to be published in the next few days. The next few days. Now, I will post, it's going to be on Amazon, and I will post it on my social media and, everywhere. So try and get it this weekend if you can, as soon as you see that it's available, because next week she's going to be my special guest. And I am telling you, I am so excited and over the moon about this. So if you can get the book and start on it, then, you probably have some questions for her, and it's going to be a really exciting show. I give Laura a lot of credit because I know how overwhelming it can be to, put that kind of stuff into words and on paper and try to make it look organized, and it's just going to be amazing. And I believe she showed you guys a picture, or she showed a picture of the cover on the show. It is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. So real exciting. Make sure you're here next week. She is going to be my special guest. And I'm sure I might have a few questions. I might have a few stories too. So it's just like excitement all the way around here for me. I can imagine she's pretty over the moon too. Well, hi, Robin. So speaking of all this energy, I've got a few things to say about that. I was checking out, my friend on Facebook. So Helia SGH. And she always posts good stuff about the energy and all that stuff that's going on. And this, she kind of takes it just through these last few days of the month and, coming up next month. Let me find it here. So she says, the energies from now until the end of February, just only a few more days. So we are entering the final stretch of February, and the entire field is shifting into a new frequency. Now, how many have been feeling this? I know a lot of us have been feeling this shift in energy. Maybe we can't tell exactly what it is. Maybe we can't pinpoint that, but we are feeling something change. The Horus year is now active, and the collective is adjusting to a pace that feels faster, clearer, and more honest than anything we have experienced for years. Well, I can tell you that it does feel faster. I feel like I am already getting more done in a day than I was a couple weeks ago. My energy feels better. It feels clearer and cleaner. The snake cycle is completely closed, which means there is no more looping, no more karmic spirals, and no more emotional replays. What rises now is what is ready to move, and what falls away is what was already finished long before you realized it. Aw, Robin says that she's still working. She has workers here in my flow. I do not want to be here all night. Oh, I don't want you to be there all night either, Robin. And she says, as we step through these final days of the month, the planets are creating a landscape that is both intense and liberating. I know I did see something about the 28th of this month, which would be Saturday. All of the planets are going to be in a direct line with each other. Pisces season is dissolving illusion, softening identities, and allowing the emotional body to release what the mind has outgrown. Venus has entered Pisces, which heightens sensitivity, intuition, longing, and heart clarity. I can tell you, I have been a lot more sensitive lately. Not like when someone is speaking to me, oh, you hurt my feelings, not that kind of sensitive. But when I watch a video, let's say I watch a video of, one of these beautiful inspirational videos, I feel it a lot deeper. And a lot of things bring me to tears, not sad tears, but because they're so touching, if that makes sense. Because I feel so much with it. It just immediately. We'll talk more about that next week, though. It makes you feel everything more deeply, but it also shows you the truth of what your heart is ready to receive and what it cannot carry anymore. This is why so many light workers feel raw, emotional, or overwhelmed. The heart space is wide open and recalibrating. Oh, I love that. I can say for a while there, I was feeling very overwhelmed with everything, but, that's because, I was making myself feel overwhelmed. Nothing has changed. Nothing, is any different on my plate. I don't have anything extra to do, but the way I was looking at it was making me feel overwhelmed when normally I wouldn't. Hello, Pooja. Let's see where we at. We also moved through the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries, and this has shaken the entire field. Saturn brings reality, structure, and truth. Neptune brings soul, memory, and illusion. Aries brings identity and initiation. When these energies collide, everything false cracks. This is why the collective has felt identity breakage, ego shedding, emotional upheaval, and a deep call to step into who you truly are. This transit removes the masks people use to survive and forces alignment with authenticity. Now, think about all the things in your life right now that is falling away, that is cracking and being broken wide open, all of the false stuff. We can think of that in our personal lives. We can think of that on a society level, a country level, a worldwide. I mean, we see these things all the time. And we see a lot of truth that is being revealed. So I know years ago we talked about how people were awakening to their truth, to who they really are, to their own authentic self on such a grand scale compared to in the past. Well, this has been ramping up for like years and years now, because I know when I was first feeling it was around 2018, 2019, 2020. Well, and then, the whole COVID stuff happened. And I think that was a huge eye opener for a lot of people, because that made a lot of people and it broke a lot of people. But, maybe that's what it was designed to do. A lot of people were kind of forced to take a look at their life and see the things that were truly important. And, some people were so devastated that they completely changed their life around. They're like, life is not as long as I thought it was going to be. Any of us could go at any minute. So I'm going to live my life to the fullest. I'm not going to work this 9-to-5 job anymore that I absolutely can't stand going to, but I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to follow my dreams. So that was one way that changed a lot of things for people. Says light workers feel this the strongest because your internal guidance system, your inner GPS, is already wired for truth, and we know truth when we feel, when we experience it, whether we see it, whether we hear it, whether we read it. It doesn't matter. Our body, our physical body, recognizes it probably long before the rest of us, because what will happen when we experience that? We get those spiritual chills, as they call them, where you get the head to toe goosebumps. Maybe you'll tear up. Maybe maybe you'll just feel it in your heart. But we know when we experience truth. Sometimes we like to ignore it. Some people like to ignore it because it's not the truth that they're wanting, or, what they desire. So a lot of times, they'll kind of ignore that. Have a great night at work, Richard. I will leave you a message. So remember, our inner GPS is already wired for truth. And when we experience it, it resonates, and it resonates on a very deep level. And that's why, because we're already wired for it. At the same time, eclipse energy has begun building. The Pisces-Virgo eclipse corridor opens the emotional body, exposes blind spots, and pushes out what the soul no longer consents to carry. Eclipse energy feels like pressure, clarity, deja vu, sudden endings, sudden realizations, and emotional purging. Let me tell you, I have done a lot of that stuff last year. A lot of the emotional purging, a lot of the pressure, especially head pressure. Sometimes it's been my whole body, but especially in my head. So I know that's one way I was experiencing a lot of these energies that we've been having. Sudden realizations. And some of them were realizations that, I had been nudged, look at this situation. And I'm like, no, that's not exactly what it is, right? And this went on for quite a while. And then just all of a sudden, it was like the gates opened and all the water started flooding in. And now all of a sudden, I can see it a lot more clearly. And when I look back at all those different situations, I'm like, wow, now I realize the big picture, and it all makes sense. Even though it wasn't the truth that I wanted to hear or that I wanted to know. And it's funny how things can happen like that. But these are things that, have been, I don't know, created or building or whatever for a lot of years. And sometimes when you come to the realization of it's not at all what you thought it was something totally different, it can be very overwhelming. So, it shakes loose the timelines that were stuck and shows you the path you were always meant to take. The lead up to an eclipse is always heavier than the eclipse itself. Oh, that's interesting. That is why the collective feels stretched, tired, restless, and activated right now. Anyone else out there feeling tired? Oh my goodness. I think this past week now I've been focusing on going to bed earlier and getting better rest. And I have been going to bed earlier, but I'm still tired. So I'll be kind of glad when some of that dissipates, because, I've never been one to sleep more than like 6 hours. Okay. That's what was always my, 5 or 6 hours. And I had energy next day like crazy. Not anymore. Right now, I'm very tired, and, what's the other word? And I don't want to say restless, because I don't feel restless at all. I feel very relaxed. But I do feel tired. And I know that's changing because my tiredness isn't the same level as it was a year ago. So I know that's improving too. The horse here brings clarity, motion, speed, and alignment. It does not wait. It does not negotiate. It knows the truth and it runs toward it. This is why so many are feeling the internal push to move forward, even while their body is still processing the emotional residue of the last cycle. So all that stuff that you let go of, you might still be processing that on some level or another. But that's okay. Just push on through. Because like that horse, in forward motion, You are in a merging zone where the old is dissolving and the new is arriving at the same time. The old is dissolving and the new is arriving at the same time. It can feel confusing because your spirit is accelerating, but your physical and emotional body are still catching up. Well, they do take a while, especially the physical body. Even when we hear a truth, it resonates with our soul right away and our spirit, but it could take our physical body a little bit of time. And I think I mentioned that last week. You get noticed that a family member has been in an accident or something, and you're in that state of shock, and it takes a little bit for your brain to catch up, but your body already knows because it's already reacting. When you get news like that, you might start shaking a little bit. You might feel dizzy. You might pass out. Some people do. But it takes a while for your body to catch up to the truth of what's going on. From now until the end of February, the field will feel like a mixture of purging and preparation. You may feel waves of exhaustion followed by moments of clarity. You may feel emotional release followed by sudden calm. You may feel the urge to retreat, then the urge to move forward. You are not unstable. You are integrating. Oh, that is beautiful. Because as the old stuff, is released and moves on out and that new stuff is coming in, well, we can't have that new stuff coming in until the old stuff clears out, because where is it going to go? There's no room. There is no room. The nervous system is adjusting to a new frequency, and the spirit is reorganizing your path to match the truth you stepped into this month. This period is about alignment. It is about choosing what supports your soul and letting go of what keeps you small. Wow. The final days of February bring spiritual closure, emotional integration, and a deep sense of readiness. How many feel ready already? I've been waiting for this fire horse ever since I heard about it. I'm very excited about the energy that it's bringing, the things that are going to be happening. When March opens, you will feel the shift fully. The horse will not ask you to heal the old story one more time. It will ask you to rise into the new one. The end of February is the bridge. Let your body release what it needs. Let your heart soften where it is tired. Let your spirit lead where it feels clear. You are not behind. You are not breaking. You are stepping into a frequency your soul has been preparing for. You are stepping into a frequency your soul has been preparing for across lifetimes. Rest when you need to. Across lifetimes. We have been preparing and working towards this for many, many lifetimes. And now, in this lifetime, it is coming to fruition. Move when you feel called. Let the rest of this month hold you. The new era is already here, and you are already inside it. We are in a season of compression, activation, and reassessment. The Horus year began energetically on February 17th with the powerful new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, and the field has been responding with intensity ever since. Eclipse season is here in full force. Solar eclipses bring accelerated endings, sudden beginnings, and the exposure of what has been hidden beneath the surface. Ooh. Can you see this happening in your life? The eclipse activated collective consciousness, shaking loose old social, emotional, and identity frameworks so that new structures can be built. Because if we can't move that old stuff out of there, there's no room for the new. Now, see, it's activated collective consciousness. People are so much more aware of who they are now than they were, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And this, all I know, this energy just really propels us into that forward direction. It also activates the Aquarius Leo axis, which is about authenticity, individuality, and community evolution. Community evolution. So not only are we evolving ourselves on an individual basis, but, as a community, as a group, as a whole. Eclipses have long reached into the personal and collective field, carrying influence for months and even years after they occur. Wow, I did not realize they could influence us that long. Another major shift takes place near the end of February as Mercury stations retrograde in Pisces. Mercury retrograde officially begins around February 26th, which I think is tomorrow. Yep. And this cycle will carry through into March 20th. So it's less than a month. Mercury retrograde in Pisces carries a soft, intuitive, subconscious flavor, and it invites the collective to revisit old stories, memories, communications, and unresolved internal narratives rather than push forward into new definitions too quickly. So, maybe we're going to start taking that little walk down memory lane. Maybe we'll make a family album from some of our ancestors. You don't know the different ways that this could manifest for you. During a Mercury retrograde, especially in a water sign like Pisces, messages, memories, and patterns that were buried tend to surface so that they can be integrated and understood from a deeper place of soul awareness. Because our soul awareness is much different now because we have grown and we have evolved and we understand things on a deeper level. We recognize things on a deeper level. Hi, Nick. Welcome. Nick is otherwise known as Country Dragon. Let's see. Okay, emotional understanding. Okay, they can integrate. Okay. Oh, that's what I was thinking, and I just had this thought the other day. Think of a movie that you have watched that had a really great message, like something spiritual, something with very deep love, or, something like that you watched a while ago. Go back and watch it again and see if you don't pick up a lot more and feel a lot more from the movie than you did when you watched it like three or 4 years ago. Because you have grown so much and changed so much that you're going to feel things in that movie on a much deeper level. You're going to understand things on a much deeper level. It says here that they're buried. Okay, we did that. The retrograde period is not about regression, but about review, refinement, and emotional understanding. Towards the very end of February, there are also other planetary tensions, such as Mars squaring Uranus. This kind of alignment can bring sudden shifts in desire, impulse, and the need for autonomy. What feels stuck edges toward movement. So you might start seeing a shift in what you really want or what you really like. And you're going to need some alone time. You're going to need time to make decisions, from your place of truth, from your place of authenticity, not from any outside sources helping you. What has been underneath the surface rises abruptly to expression. Collective and personal impatience can be strong, and the urge to act without fully processed clarity can be tempting. Honor both the fire and the pause so that action emerges from sovereignty rather than reaction. In addition to Mercury retrograde, the planetary parade at the end of February brings a rare celestial alignment where 6 planets become visible across the evening sky. This alignment is not just beautiful to behold, it symbolizes a collective cosmic moment where multiple energies converge in harmony. It's a reminder that all these planetary movements are weaving a unified field of transformation, not fragmentation. This is why you may be feeling both scattered and strangely centered at the same time. I have felt that. It's kind of an unusual feeling to feel both scattered and centered at the same time. As we move toward the end of February, the influence of eclipse season, combined with Mercury retrograde and the ongoing solar and Neptune activations, is pushing the collective to a place of deeper inner clarity, field recalibration, and soul alignment. So what are you going to be aligning with? Your truth, your purpose, other souls. You may feel tired, emotional, nostalgic, sensitive, restless, or eager for movement all within the same day. This is not inconsistency. This is your nervous system, psyche, and spirit unifying into a coherent frequency track. You are shedding what no longer aligns and refining what still supports your highest path. For the Lightworker Collective, this time is particularly potent. The old layers of identity, attachment, and coping strategies are being stripped away so that only the essential, purpose-aligned frequencies remain. You may feel intensely aware of what is necessary to carry forward and what is meant to be left behind. This is not regression. This is your nervous system and soul making space for embodiment rather than survival. You are feeling everything more deeply because the field itself is operating at a higher threshold of integration and awareness. Rest is not avoidance. It is integration. Because as we're resting, as we're sleeping, all of those energies are integrating into our energy. Reflection is not stagnation. It is refinement. Emotion is not regression. It is resolution. Clarity is not speed. It is coherence. The sky is holding you now. The field is aligning you. The force of February's astrology is not here to confuse you. It is here to clarify you. And as the month closes, you will feel the energetic slope begin to rise toward forward motion, not before first fully acknowledging and understanding what has passed. February has been the true transition month between who we were and who we are becoming. And that is because of all of the stuff that we have released, all of the stuff that we have let go of because it wasn't part of us anymore anyway. It carried the final release of the snake cycle and everything that version of you held together for far too long. It asked you to shed, to feel, to face what was ending, and to walk away from what your soul had outgrown. At the same time, it opened the first doorway into the horse year, a frequency that moves faster, clearer, and more honestly than anything we have stepped into in years. February closed the loops, ending the karmic spirals, unlocked the eclipse corridor, and prepared your entire field for the shift into alignment and forward motion. Who doesn't want alignment and forward motion? This month was never meant to be easy. It was meant to be defining. And I look back over February. Was this an easy month for you? It wasn't for me. I had a lot of stuff come up, a lot of stuff being released, a lot of purging going on in my body. You are leaving February lighter, clearer, and more aligned than you realize. And everything that felt heavy was part of the doorway opening into the new era you are about to step into. So we have so much to look forward to. I'm going to tell you, Joanne Leo, who has her show tomorrow, Soul Coaching, she's gives some amazing messages on her show. And she was talking when I got my message, she was telling me about what a great year this was going to be for me. How, it gave me different ideas of things that, we're going to manifest. And ever since then, I see this information everywhere. When I'm on social media, it'll bring up something about like my horoscope, and it'll say stuff about 2026 and 2027. They're going to be amazing years for me. And a lot of the stuff that she had said, I have seen popping up just out of nowhere, which really is amazing. And it's wonderful, wonderful validation. So that's really exciting. I've always thought, astrology was pretty cool. I remember, like reading horoscopes when I was like a teenager, and you think it's pretty cool and stuff then. But I never really delved deeply into it. But I'm always really interested to hear all the stuff that, goes into it. So I am going to give some messages, and I'm going to tell you who I have on my list here. And if I didn't call your name, then please let me know. I have Richard, Jill, Roy, Denise, Patty, Laura, Will, Robin, Pooja, and Nick. So let me know if I missed your name. Okay, Richard's already gone to work, so I'm going to start with Country Dragon, Nick. See what we have for you, Nick. Okay, this is the number 32, and it says set boundaries. Claim your power and know your value today. Don't let anyone tell you who you are or who they think you are. Don't let them make you think you're someone other than who you truly know that you are. And know your value. Claim your power. Don't let anyone take your power away. Don't give your power away. A lot of times people give their power away without even realizing it. We can give our power to other people, letting them make decisions for us or tell us what to do. We can give our power away to food, to drugs, to alcohol, to obsessive behaviors. When anything that we let control us, we're giving our power TV. You know, how many people do you, I mean, I can remember a lot of people throughout my life that were like addicted to television, you know. That's all they did from the time they got up until they went to bed, unless they went to school or work. But anytime, free time they had, that's what they were doing, was watching TV. Like it was new, which it wasn't. Not that, my numbers aren't that high. But don't give your power away. Don't let anyone take your power. Don't let anyone try to tell you who you are, what you should do, or how you should live your life. Those are decisions for you. So if any boundaries that you need to set, you do that, because that is what is best for you. You always you have to put yourself first, Nick, and fill yourself up with what you need so that you have something to share with others. So I hope that resonates with you. Okay, well. All right. Number 14, Will, flow with the rhythm. Flow with the rhythm. Get lost in the rhythm of movement today. It could be any kind of movement. Just, you know, it could go for a walk. It could be gardening. It could be, you know, playing with an animal or a child. It could be dancing. It could be shuffling your feet. But they're just wanting you to be in motion, to be in motion. Now, whether you are dancing around the kitchen or maybe you're doing some stretching, whatever it is, increase it, because they're wanting you to be in motion. And you know, when we stretch, like think about like a cat, when you see a cat stretch, or I see when I get my grandson up in the morning, or I mean from his nap, and the way he stretches when he gets up, like, oh my gosh, that looks like it feels so good. Because I think a lot of times as adults, we forget to stretch. And, you know, it can help let the oxygen flow better, let it into your lungs better. So stretching is very good for all of us. Oh, Patty. Doesn't it say Patty? I don't think it does. It says Denise. Never mind. Denise. That's pretty bad. I can't read my writing. It's because I tried to hurry. Denise. It's never truly the end. Number 19. It is never truly the end. I don't know. Those don't look very clear. It says, beloved, in this, everything will be okay. Sometimes we feel like things are coming to an end, but they're not. They're actually just beginning. So know that it is never truly the end, just like, you know, our life here. There's that school of thought that when we leave this earth, that's it, we're just done. But this is only a part of our journey. It's not the end, like a lot of people think. It's just another stop on our journey. And our journey is never ending. It's going to go on and on and on. So just know, in any situation, it doesn't have to be the end. It can be if you want it to be, but just know that whatever situation that you are going through right now, that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. So I hope that resonates with you, Denise. Robin. Let it go, Robin. Number 23. 23. I can't tell you how many times since I have been doing readings that I got the message for someone to let it go. Not necessarily just from these cards, but it's a powerful message, and it's something that's not always easy to do. Let go of all that no longer serves you, Robin. I know you have like totally reconstructed your life and yourself. And that is so awesome. And it's awesome to watch that transformation within you and, without, because as I mentioned before, you look different. And it's from all that healing that you did. Because I had suggested going back and watching one of your older shows and see how different you look now. Because I think you'll be blown away. Because I was when I realized it. I kept watching your show and I was like, something looks different about her. What is it? What is it? What is it? So I went back to look at an old show to see if I could figure it out. And you almost look like a different person. Not really. I mean, just like the best version of yourself now. Let's say that. You can just totally see how much you have healed. So you know the benefits and the power in letting things go. So don't hang on to anything that no longer serves you, Robin. Jill. Oh, Jill, you also got set boundaries, number 32. That one just kind of fell out for you. And it says, claim your power and know your value today. Denise says, beautiful, awesome. Claim your power and set boundaries. So, and know your value. I think a lot of times we don't know our own value. Or maybe we don't see our value the way other people see it. What's important is how you see yourself. Other people's opinions really don't matter. But don't let anything take away your power. Don't let anyone, or don't let anyone take away your power. Don't let anyone, don't give your power away to anyone. And if you have given your power away, take it back now. Take it back now, Joe. Laura says Robin has a glow. She does. She does. I know. She looks absolutely amazing. Okay. Oops. That one fell. We'll forget that one. Laura. I can't read some of these names. Laura, number 17. Oh, that's a great number. Go on an adventure. Life is an adventure, isn't it, Laura? Today is the day to try something daring. And you are doing that, aren't you? By publishing your book. It has been a huge adventure. And I can't wait for you to talk about it on my show next week. Just about the whole process and about how things unfolded for you. And I know it has been a wonderful, amazing adventure. The way you received the messages, all of it. And doing something daring. It is daring, publishing your own book, putting yourself out there like that. So, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I know, it's not an easy thing to do. So I give you lots of credit for that. And I can't wait to have you on my show next week. I'm looking forward to it like crazy. I think Robin says, holy cow, I have been really letting go lately. Thank you both for the wonderful compliments. You're welcome. Okay. It does say Patty. Okay, Patty. Oops, upside down. Number 12, emotions are the reflection. Look for the deeper meaning. Oh, Robin, I think that's awesome. Robin says, I love you. I will go look at an old show. It's going to blow you away. It is. Thank you, Robin. Emotions are the reflection, Patty. Look for the deeper meaning. The deeper meaning. There's always a deeper meaning behind something. Now, what emotions have been coming up for you lately? What are they reflecting? What are they a reflection of? They may not be the exact emotion that's coming up, but they may be a reflection of something deeper. That is why they are saying to look for the deeper meaning. So whatever things have been coming up for you, look at what has been triggering those emotions and try to find the deeper meaning behind them. Then you can heal them and just let them go. So that was for you, Patty. Jill says, great message. I need to set boundaries with some people. I love this. Thank you. You are welcome. Roy. And then I have Pooja and Richard. Unless somebody else says something. If I forgot you. Roy. Roy, say yes. Jill's going to love this card. Say yes, Roy. Uh-oh. You're very welcome, Laura. Now is the time to be open and receive. Say yes. Somebody wants to give you something or do something for you. Say yes. Be willing to be open to receiving. You know, a lot of times people that are givers and just love to give and do for others, they have a hard time reciprocating. They have a hard time, being the receiver. They like to be the giver. So, the next time you have that opportunity, Roy, say yes. Say yes. Because it took me a while to figure this out in life, but when someone gives, whether it's a gift or gives of themselves, they're very excited about that. They love to give. And when the other person is not open to receiving, well, you take away their joy in giving. So keep yourself open to that. Denise says, Ruth, so on point about Nick. He needed to hear that. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, now Richard and Pooja. Pooja. It is never truly the end, Pooja. It is never truly the end. Number 19. Beloved, in this, everything will be okay. Everything is going to work out for you, Pooja. Everything is going to be okay. You don't have to worry. Don't put any energy into stressing out about anything. Just know that it's going to be okay. Richard, accept what is. Accept what is. Number 2, the art of acceptance will bring peace. Sometimes we don't want to accept what is. We want it to be different. But accepting things the way they are and for what they are will bring you a lot of peace of mind. A lot less anxiety, a lot less stress. So accept things for the truth of what they are, Richard. And then lastly, but not leastly, we have Tiffany. Number 10, disappointment is not the end. There is hope even in the darkest of nights. Now, you've had some, I don't say I would call them dark nights because they were pretty white, weren't they, with all that snow? Oh, my goodness. But, sometimes we might feel disappointed because things don't pan out the exact way we want them to. But you know what? Many times it's because it's something better. There's something better waiting instead. So, I'm not so crazy about the word hope. But it says there is hope even in the darkest of nights. But do you see that? Look at that light that is shining. That is you shining your light in the darkest of nights. And think of all the people that respond to it, all the people that see it. You got the number 10 or 1, which is a good number too. But sometimes, if things don't go the way we want them to, maybe we need to look at them a different perspective, or maybe we need to try them in a different way. So I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. The energy has been amazing. It's been so much fun. And you know what? Next week, we're going to have Laura here. And maybe I don't know, but maybe we can do some angel messages too. We'll have to see how that goes. But I definitely, she's here to talk. She'll be here to talk about her amazing book. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's a whole week. I got to wait now. But I'm super excited in case you can't tell. And I'm super excited for her and for everybody that's going to read that book. It was a long time coming for her, but what an amazing journey it has been, Laura, right? That is right. Oh, Jill, you're funny. Thank you all for being here. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. I will be back here next Wednesday with my very, very special guest, Laura Romero. I love you all. Have a wonderful week. Good night, everybody.